Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe. Welcome to this very unfortunate edition of Believers Talk. Why don't get on here and just talk to everyone a little bit. I mean, obviously there's some news going around that has a lot of Bills fans concerned, and I understand. But we need to calm down. We need to relax. Everything going on in this world, we have till tomorrow, I believe it is, for everyone to decide if they want to opt out or not. So there's no reason for us to get too panicked just yet. It was just announced on Twitter. Hey comrade, how you doing? Good to see you, and thank you for joining me. I wanted to go over what we just heard over on Twitter. Again, guys, I'm on my lunch break enjoying a beautiful day. Hey Brian, good to see you. Angry Buffalo sports fan. I'm getting to it. Relax. So we just found out on Twitter through a conversation on Zoom, I believe it was. Some Bills beat reporters were in on the meeting. Tre White said he's still undecided as to whether or not he will opt out this season or not. So that's the news coming out of Buffalo Bills training camp. So of course everyone's going to be concerned. Tre White, one of, if not the best player on the Buffalo Bills, might be opting out of the NFL season. And obviously Bills fans are worried and concerned, and it's really up to him at this point, right? The ball is in his court. I don't know why we tend as people to get nervous about things that we have no control over, right? Tre'davious White has a decision making. Whether you agree with the fact that the decision's out there, or whether you agree with the fact that people need to make this decision, is obsolete at this time, right? The decision has to be made. And that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about this decision. Tre has kids. I don't know the gender of said kids, so I know that he does have a family that he's concerned about. And during these times, a lot of people are concerned about the family. And listen, again, I know this would be a tough replacement, but we've said it about others who have decided to opt out. Star Latuile, when he decided to opt out, it would simply be next man up. Hey, King Cam, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me on this lunch edition of Believers Talk. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Share this video. I probably will not be on here too long. I enjoy a little bit of my lunch hour on this beautiful day. I do enjoy hanging out with you guys, but get some lunch and get back to work. But I do want to come on here, and again, if you just joined me, guys, Tre White is says he's still undecided as to whether or not he will play or not for the Buffalo Bills this season due to the opt-out clause, right? A lot of players are choosing this opt-out clause. Again, we saw it before with Star Latuile, but you have to think it's next man up, and everyone's talking about how worried they are if this does happen. And I think we can see what happens when Coach McDermott loses his number one corner. That's what happened within Carolina when Josh Norman went to Washington. He did not have a successful year the following year at the cornerback position. So that's something of concern. But we do have to think of it as next man up. We have Leslie Frazier, a great defensive mind there. We have Coach McDermott, a great defensive mind there. I believe that they could get something together that would be, a good plug-in, a plug-and-play, whatever it might be, a one-year contract. I mean, you think about the money that we'd potentially save. It actually wouldn't be all that much because Tre'davious White is still on his rookie deal. But you talk about all this money that's being saved. You talk about the release of Quentin Spain saving us the release of Spencer Long saving us $2.7 million. Things like that have going on. The season will start but not finish, said Epic Guar. And that's another thing we have to think about too. Is this season really going to happen? Is the season going to count towards anything? Are people like Tre White and Star Latuile, or just Star Latuile? Because again, Tre White has not made up his mind, guys. So that's something that we have to remember. I have no power, says Eagle One. There was a storm yesterday, so I hope that everyone stayed safe during that. But we do have to remember that Tre White has not made his decision yet. Obviously, it's something that's been heavily on his mind. Originally, he would have had till this past weekend to make a decision, and the decision was that he's going to play. Miguel C., you're just joining me. So Tre White was just on a Zoom conference call with a bunch of Bills reporters, and when the discussion of whether or not Tre White would opt out came up, he said that he is still unsure as to what his decision's going to be. I'm not gonna lie. From what I saw on Twitter from people who were part of that Zoom meeting, they thought they got the impression that he was not going to play. So, if you want to look at it and assume that he's not going to play, you can do that. But until I hear an official word from Tre'davious White himself, I'm not going to assume anything. Because again, remember, he originally only had until this past weekend to make up his mind, and he was still playing. He's at training camp right now, so he's planning to play, and that's what that tells me. So we'll see what happens, obviously, guys. But again, I just wanted to break this news to you. Tre'davious White still declaring that he's still making that decision. And again, a lot of players are still making that decision. We found a lot more between now and tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm going to see if I can maybe get out of work early and be live tomorrow at 4 p.m. when that opt-out clause things comes to an end, when that decision-making process comes to an end. And again, I go back to baseball, and baseball had an opt-out clause, and Markakis from the Atlanta Braves, he used it, and then he decided to come back a week later. So just because they decided to opt out does not mean they won't come back later. Also, I think that option would definitely still be on the table for Tre'davious White and for some of these other players, but we don't know. And again, my personal feeling, he's at training camp right now. He's playing, right? So he has to have a decision within the next 28 hours. Okay, so don't panic. No time to panic, not yet. He has not made a decision. He says it's still something he's thinking about. And you know what? If you have till tomorrow to 4 o'clock, use all the time you can to think about it. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for your family. And again, we might not agree with the fact that there is an opt-out clause. We might not agree with the idea of people getting paid to sit out and to not have to work. But that's, every day goes by, reduces the chance of opt-out. Again, but Buffalo Mafia News, good point. Again, he has 28 hours still, and he was at training camp, right? This isn't like going back to baseball, a Cespedes situation for the Mets where he just didn't show up. He's showing up. He's filling it his commitment to the team. So that has to mean something to Bills Mafia. Even though this decision is looming large for him, he's still fulfilling his team commitments, and that's very important to me. Shows his willingness to want to play and want to play for the Buffalo Bills and want to do well for the team as well. But we'll see what happens. Again, there's still 28 hours or so for him to think about that decision and to come up with whatever he thinks is best for him and his family. So again, guys, Tre'davious White coming out today in a Zoom call saying that he's still undecided. Everyone's flipping out about it. I don't understand why. Let's wait till the decision's made. Then we'll see if we need to flip out or not. I'm going to try to see if I get out for work early tomorrow. I'll be live for you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock when the final opt-outs can occur. Again, if you have till 4 o'clock tomorrow, might as well take every minute you can to make what the best decision is, or in the player's mind, what the best decision is for them at that time. I mean, again, I don't expect to hear anything from Tre'davious White anytime soon. I think that he's still going to go home tonight, talk to his family about it, and see what they say, see what they think, and he's gonna do some soul searching as he's been doing for the past 3-4 months, because this pandemic's been around for a long time. But make sure you guys are staying safe out there. And again, we'll be back here whenever that decision's made to talk about it and see what our best case scenario is at that time. See maybe if we have to think about who's filling and where. The Buffalo Bills brought in Siren Neal again today, so he's back with the team. He's no longer in the COVID testing protocol, whatever that was called, that list, whatever it was called by the NFL. So he's back today, and we have to plug and play as best we can. We are dealing with the same thing that all 32 teams are, and that is if a star player wants to opt out, then that leaves a big void. I saw Greg Tomset from Cover One said it. If any team would lose their best player to opt out, they would find themselves in a tough situation. Tre'davious White, the best player on the Buffalo Bills, or arguably the best player on the Buffalo Bills now, and so we're going to see what happens. But again, guys, don't panic, relax. I put it on Twitter, everyone needs to just relax a little bit until we know what that decision is. So again, guys, thank you for joining me on this live lunchtime edition of Believers Talk. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.